So West Ham to Arsenal to yeah, I think it's over. Think the title race is over now. Second game in second consecutive game in which we have dropped a 2 point lead. Um, yeah, really disappointing. This was a must-win game. If we had won today and we win against Southampton, and then if we go against City and get a draw, we still have a pretty big chance to win the title. Um, but after today's draw, even if we go and beat City, the chances are still slim because we still have to go away against Newcastle. Um, and yeah, um, at home to Chelsea. These two games, the last two games, have really dented the title hopes, and I don't think we are coming back from this. I anyway did not think we would win the title, and the main reason was, excuse me, the main reason was the squad, and I think I have been proven right in that. If we look at the last two games, one thing that was common in both the games was that Rob Holding was starting from the back, and with Rob Holding starting from the back, our transitions are really slow. Rob Holding is not as decisive on the ball as William Saliba, and most of our attacks come from playing out from the back. There was a lot of confusion at the back. No one knew what they were doing, and this sort of a confusion really led to the not only the two goals but as well as the slow transitions which just stopped us from scoring goals. I'm not absolving blame from all the other players on the team. Everyone has to take some blame today. Saka has to take the blame for not uh, scoring the penalty. Partey has to take the blame for doing the stupidness that he was doing with the ball, which led to the penalty. Gabriel has to take the blame for sliding in into the box, which he does so many times, and it always causes him to give away a penalty. Um, yeah, it was a disappointing performance overall, and I don't really think we are coming back from this. There is no way back. It's done. Um, we would most likely now finish second. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. But there were some good things in the performance as well. The best thing that I saw was we, for the first time, or maybe he has done this before, I just never noticed it. We saw Tierney invert a lot. With Tierney getting into the midfield position, tucking in just like Zinchenko, if he keeps doing this, he becomes a really good option for Zinchenko because Zinchenko, as we know, he's not defensively that good. So having that additional option going into the next season when we have to play the Champions League midweek, it's going to be great. So that's the good thing about this performance. But the major takeaway from today's performance was that we lacked a lot of the mentality that we've shown before. There was no urgency after going 2-0 down. There was no bite in that performance, and yeah, it really cost us. It cost us, and we took West Ham very lightly. In my opinion, the last two performances that we've shown, we've been we've looked light. We've looked like we don't believe in ourselves, and if we carry on like this, yeah, I mean, there's no point. In my opinion, we already lost title, but in other people's opinion, we will see that it would also become slowly but surely that mathematically it would be impossible for us to win the title. So, what do we need to do now to win the title? If we want to win the title now, not only do we have to win all of the rest of our games, we would also need to beat City at their ground. And that is a mammoth task. Um, there would be no. I don't think that's happening. We did not beat City on our ground. How are we supposed to beat City at their ground? Unless Saliba comes back and we start showing some good performance going into the City game next week against Southampton. City look like they are in a groove of their own. They look like they have finally gotten into their groove in the final stretch of the season. Um, yeah, I think City are going to be too much for Arsenal. Okay, so let's go back to the key elements of the game and just try to analyze them a little bit. When the game started, we saw what West Ham's tactic was. The West Ham tactic stayed the same pretty much throughout the game, and that was just be direct, just put the ball in the air, just let Arsenal run after the ball and cause chaos. And that is exactly what they did, and that is what benefited them. Usually, when teams try to cause this sort of a chaos, trying to make us run behind the ball, we usually have Saliba who is really fast. So he catches up with the ball, and we are able to transition into attack pretty seamlessly. But that was not happening today. Every time the ball was put in behind, we were running around like headless chickens. Um, Even our midfield was getting bypassed. I would have to say this was one of Party's poor performances. Um, we were getting run through in midfield. His passes were not either being overhit or he was not. They were just not reaching to the right players. Uh, and at the same time, most one of West Ham's goal came from Party's mistake. When West Ham scored that first goal, I started having flashbacks of the Liverpool game, and I was praying that it would not happen, and it did happen. That exact thing happened. I would not go in much into whether it was a penalty or not. Um, to me, they should have checked for handball, which I thought that it was a handball from Declan Rice. Um, but even if it was not if even if a penalty was given, we were 2-0 up. The response that we've seen from Arsenal over the whole season is that when a team hits us for a goal, we go and score on the other end. That did not happen. Then in the second half, um, we came out sluggish. West Ham came out and did the exact same thing they were doing. So I want to know what what was said in that halftime. What was said by Mikel Arteta at halftime? Because the team's performance did not change at all, just like Liverpool. It did not change. We came out of the second half looking like we need halftime. So uh, I really want to know what's going on there behind the scenes. Saka looked far off his pace. He missed the penalty, but I'm not going to go too much. I'm not going to blame him too much for it. Um, we should have realistically scored way more goals than we did score, considering how good we are in attack. But there was just it was all just missing throughout the team. I thought we looked better in control of the ball when Jorginho came in than we were before Jorginho, which is wild to say playing against West Ham, who are such a physical team. Um, but yeah, we West Ham scored their second goal in the 54th minute. We had more than 40 minutes to respond, and we did nothing. I don't think we can blame the refs for penalties. I don't think we can blame anyone but ourselves, and just look at ourselves in the mirror and really ask that if we want to win the title, are these the type of performances that are going to be acceptable? And they're not going to be. With this squad, we cannot win a Premier League title, or we cannot do what Liverpool did, be the dancing partner with Man City for 4 years in a row. We can't do that with this squad. This squad needs serious investment. This squad needs at least two two more centre backs. This squad needs better midfielders, an upgrade on Xhaka. The squad needs a good option to Bukayo Saka. This squad needs a lethal striker. This squad needs a lot of investment before it can actually become the dancing partner to City, go toe to toe with City, not just to be bridesmaids, not just to be second, but to actually beat them, to go and win the Champions League, to go and win the Premier League, to create a legacy, which is what Mikel Arteta wanted when he came in. So yeah, we are far off the pace, and that's what this game proved. But yeah, yeah, just wanted to do a video coming back. I know we haven't been posting for a long time. As you could see by my surroundings, I was moving. Divyansh was moving as well. Um, he had some work related trips to different parts, so he was away as well. We will try to do a podcast coming back, and try to coordinate it with each other. So yeah, thank you for your support. Keep supporting us, and yeah, hit a like on your way out. Cheers.